Hi everyone, my name is Koke. I'm here today preparing for my presentation tomorrow about Connect London. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through everything that I'm going to present tomorrow. So I will be presenting on credits, AI tools, the difference between the prospecting agent and the customer agent, assistance, and then I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into set up the prospecting agent. So let me start the recording or the sharing on the screen because I'm already recording, of course. And we are going to walk through these. So as I said before, my name is Koke. I'm a sales specialist, specialized on Service Hub, but I've been in HubSpot for 6 years, so I know a little bit of everything HubSpot related, of course. The first session, like I said earlier, is going to be about AI tools. We will cover credits, enrichment, conversational enrichment, assistance, agents, but only a sneak peek on the agents because we're going to have two great sessions. Later. So I'm going to cover this session of the prospecting agent. I will send you the recording once I put this on LinkedIn or I send it to anybody. I will also send you the recording of Fikra. Fikra will be doing the session on the customer agent tomorrow, but he will also record a session about what tomorrow is going to look like. I believe on a Zoom or a Loom, and that's the thing that I'm gonna share later, right? So, where do we start? So, we're past the cycle of generic AI. Writing a poem or creating an image in ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever LLM you use is fun, right? But it doesn't close deals. Successful growth requires AI that understands your business, your customers, your data, and your unique workflows as well. This is Breeze Engine. It's not just a chatbot like an LLM, it's a unified intelligence running through your marketing, sales, and service hub. Today, we are deploying two specific type of digital workers. On the left, the prospecting agent, or actually it's on the right. On the right, we have the prospecting agent. And think about the prospecting agent as your hunter. It lives in Sales Hub, it works outbound, and it fits on the CRM data to find those opportunities. And on the left side, we have the customer agent. And think about the customer agent about like your defender. It better works with Service of course. It's in all the other hubs, anyways, that are professional, but it works way better with Service Hub. At the end of the day, the customer agent is solving for your customers. It handles inbound queries and resolve issues using the knowledge base and files, any kind of information that you fit in. Later today, like I mentioned before, we're going to deep dive into, with me at least, with the prospecting agent, and I will share the recording of Fikra about the customer agent. So, we talk about the agents. Powering these agents requires energy. And in HubSpot, that energy is credits. Not every AI feature costs you money. So not every AI feature uses credits. Simple tasks, for example, like summarizing a record, are part of the CRM, right? So let's leave those aside. I have another slide for that later. But heavy lifting, like prospecting agent, researching on a company, drafting, personalized emails, and outreaching your leads, that costs 100 credits per enrollment, as you can see there. On the other hand, the customer agent, also heavy lifting, solving for your customers 24/7, no rest, focusing on retention, costs 100 credits per conversation. Think of this as not as a cost, but as an investment on scaling your business, right? That's the best way to put it. And here, this is a great highlight. Like I mentioned before, there are some tools, AI tools, that don't consume credits as well. These are baked into your subscription for free, and some of those are enriching your contacts or company's records today. That's free. Summarizing a deal, a company, a project, including all the history. And if you do it within seconds, that's free. That's something that you're not paying for today. Using the Breeze Assistant, for example, to draft content, that's also free. So each one of these tools that you see there, those are your daily drivers. They make your humans faster without touching your credit limit. All right. And of course, you can test all these tools today because you also get a bucket of credits based on the tiers that you have. For starters, for example, they get 500 credits for free every month. Professionals get 3,000 credits for free every month. Enterprise tier customers get 5,000 credits for free every month. But remember, they reset every month and they do not roll over. So this is probably the best advice that I'm going to give you today. Use them. Don't waste them. And I know some people will have the fear. Will AI run up the bill? Will I sleeping? Will I go over my credit tier? The answer is no. You are the director. You have the brakes and the accelerator as well. So you control, for example, the first of all, what is the overage subscription that you have for credit, and you can also set up a maximum monthly credit limit, so you can reassure there they are not gonna run into that issue. So you can set up the monthly cap, right? Again, you limit the amount of credits that you want to use per month. You can also choose between the auto upgrade. That means if you reach the limit, you get auto upgrade into the next into 1,000 more credits and 1,000 more if you reach out that limit and 1,000 more, and that's going to be your next limit, your next tier, the next month, right? Or you can choose to pay as you go, which actually provides a hard stop. So all those AI tools that consume credits, they just stop, right? In addition to that, you will receive alerts when the credit consumption is at 75%, 80%, 90%. I believe there's another one for 95% of the usage, right? And you also have control of which user have access to these credits. So to cover everything that we like, to give you an overview of everything we cover, you have total visibility of this. But enough of the slides. Let's actually take a look at how this looks in real life. So let me see, how do I stop the presentation there? So I'm gonna walk you through the enrichment first. And if we look at here, we have the enrichment. This is a company that I already enriched. I can see here I need the company domain. Once I have the company domain, I can enrich any other property that is listed here, right? For some companies, we're not going to have all the information, but at least you have the information that you need to make the decisions, to make the right segmentations for your team. So, for example, I can see the keywords, I can see web technologies that this company is using. And with this, I can already make decisions, right? Now, how do you get this, right? This is going to be very important. So then we move into the second tab that I have here. This is where you enable AI. So to get there, you go to settings and then you go to AI. Within here, you can enable the different AI tools within the CRM, right? Then If we navigate to settings again and we go and scroll down on the left side panel and we go to data enrichment, here is where you can turn it on specifically for the enrichment. So you can choose to do this automatically, or you can do it manually as well at any point, right? You can also opt out from the enrichment. Now, if I move to the second tab, you will see the conversational enrichment. And this is something that not many customers know, but conversational enrichment is there to analyze the communication between you and your customers and extracting information from emails, extracting information from transcripts. And this information is the one that is going to use to keep the records enriched, up to date, for example, with the roles, grabbing that information from their signature or whenever that information is mentioned. And to go back to the enrichment bar, there is a mapping as well. You can choose what are the properties that you don't want to touch. You don't want Breeze enrichment to touch at all, or only fill them if they're empty, or you know what, I trusted with the latest information. So if that's the case, you can override the existing values as well. And it will be the same for companies. So this is a place where you can see all the properties that can be enriched by Breeze Intelligence. There's also a knowledge base article that explains all this. But let's move into assistance now, because this is also something that not many customers are aware of. They might know that they have access to an assistant. This is the same as running ChatGPT, and it's good. You can connect it to apps. For example, if you have an internal knowledge base in Confluence or anything like that, you can link it to Breeze, and your team can find that information when they need to look for legal information or processes internally, right? But this is the other part. If we go to Breeze and we go to Breeze Studio and click into assistants, you can create your own assistants. And this is like having Gemini Gems, custom GPTs, cloud projects, I believe they're called in there, but you can create your own. And just to give you an example, this is one that helps me prepare calls for my customer success team. I give it a prompt, and I give it a prompt that I created with my prompting engineering assistant, the prompt generator, and this is working perfectly. So let's move first into a deal, just to give you just to show you the power of this. So I'm here on a deal. I click into the system. I already run it, but I only said to the system or gave the input of analyze this deal. I already selected my big picture, and I'm going to show you. So I click in assistance. You will be here once you click in assistant, but then you can select your custom assistants, like in my case, big picture, and you can pre-save some prompts or some triggers. So in this case, I click in analyze this deal, and you will see it will be running, and it will be getting the context from the CRM to give you the right information. So here I can see the stakeholder. It gives me an analysis of this person. It maps the hubs. The second point is their current state. What are their pains today? And what is the future state if they decide to move on with HubSpot? I can also see is using a lot of frameworks and sales methodologies that I put in the prompt. Uh, this is the part that I love the most, and this is one of the parts that I use on my day to day as a sales specialist. This is really good for solutions engineer, but also for sales reps, where it maps each one of the tools that were mentioned before in the conversation with this customer or prospect to my demo. This is how I'm gonna run my demo when we get to that stage, right? And the narrative, everything about the next steps, what it recommends me using different sales methodologies, story, and so on. So this for me is gold. This is something that I use daily on when I'm working on deals in HubSpot internally, and this saves my time. This saves me so much time, like probably hours every week. But anyways, um, I have another one, which is a customer success manager call preparation. And here I created two different triggers. So this one, for example, helped me prepare for my next meeting, right? So I run that. Now I'm running from the company. The previous one was from the deal. And here it goes again, identify the company, identity and mission, the operational workflow, and so on and so on, finding information about news on the internet, everything up to date, and it crafts all the information and it helps me for my next call with this customer. In this case, it's a customer that I need to retain. So here, for example, I got my agenda, and this is perfect. And it only took me a few seconds because the context is here. The context is already in HubSpot. So um, this other, what did I wanted to show here? I believe it was the brief suggestion or the ticket summary, which is also something. Oh no, sorry. I was on age on assistant. So what I want to show you here, guys, is another assistant that I created now for the support team. And here, for example, I already save a few prompts. So for example, if I need to find my invoices, or if I need to check on a specific question, how many custom reports can I create, blah, 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 blah. This is going to look at some information from tickets or files that I fed it. So also really good for my support team for the day-to-day, right? Then we move into the customer agent. And here I'm only gonna give a sneak peek, same as the prospecting agent. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna run the prospecting agent from here. I'm gonna ask a question. Are are sequences part of Service Hub Professional? So I believe I already gave it that kind of information. So let's see now. This is the customer agent giving me that information, and that information is right. And if I ask now in Spanish or any other language, it would normally give me that information. So I'm not going to jump into configuration of the customer agent, but I do want to show you one thing here, guys. And this is amazing. This is, oh, they changed it to guidelines. What I want to show you here is the testing, because here we can test calling as well. And I'm not going to do it now because I don't think I shared the audio when I was recording. But feel free to go to your own portal, test this, and this is amazing. You can test it live in any languages you want. And the last part that I want to show you here, I want to show you the reply recommendations, how these actually look like. So let me navigate quickly to my help desk. I believe I might have one somewhere here, hopefully not this one. I think I might not have it, but here I have one. So this is a reply recommendations. This is something also included by the customer agent, but this one give the answer to you, your team, so your team can give the answer quickly to your customer. So we're going to skip that one now, and we're going to go into the prospecting agent. And here I'm going to show you briefly the result. I'm not going to go again into the settings because this is something that I'm going to show you later, but here we can do a review of the emails that the prospecting agent is sending. I created two selling profiles, one for Service Hub and another one for Data Hub. So this one is for Service Hub. And this did already a research on the company, on the contact, and all the communication with this contact. And here is grading the emails. So here is giving me a good email based on the communication. I've been reaching out regarding the how many custom reports can I create with Data Hub. So it grabbed that information from the ticket. It knows that I'm interested in that. Even though this is for Service Hub, it's still aligning and saying, look, you still can, these two combines are going to do the job to blah, 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 make a scale, whatever. You actually train those agents because you, and again, I'm trying not to jump into settings, but I just want to show you this bar where you train it on a product, the personas, the what your company sells, and the value proposition of that specific product. But again, we're going to jump into that later. So that is a prospecting agent. And what I want to cover as well briefly, this is the data agent. The data agent is smart properties. So smart properties can do web research to get extra information about a company. They can analyze calls, transcripts, and engagement to give you extra information about the communication with the different stakeholders in that company. And they can also scan other properties to give you information about that. So let's say you have a file attached to a contact or a company on a property, and you can analyze that property file and give you certain information, anything that you want. And this is an example. I created a few smart properties here, what this company do, their competitors, challenges, and so on. So this is the information that I want to get. And this is the information that I can get through those different sources that I just mentioned. But you can also do this in bulk. You need to do it one by one, enriching each one of the smart properties. I can select 100 properties or all the 522 properties, clicking more. And from here, oops, I think it's up to 100 then. Well, I can do it in a workflow as well. But here I can click in where, oh, there it was. Fill my smart properties. Actually, let me see now if it can do it with the, it can do it with all the 522. So I can click and fill my smart properties. The only thing is I'm not going to do it because otherwise I'm going to run out of credits. And if I run out of credits, I can do my demo tomorrow. But there you go. You can also put AI directly in your workflows. These will automate the process. These can automate the analysis. For example, in my detractor follow-up, if someone gives me a detractor on one of the surveys, I can go here and analyze this ticket following how was the interaction between my rep and my customer, why wasn't the customer happy, recommend me next steps because I'm going to follow up on this customer that just gave me the tractor. And then with the output from this, I'm just creating a task and assigning it to the person working on the ticket with that customer to give them the best response possible. The last part that I'm going to cover here is the buyer intent and the research intent. So buyer intent, you can identify companies that are looking at your website, and to those companies, you can add them into HubSpot. Those would be fully enriched, and then you can combine this with the prospecting agent to reach out to them at the right time. The research intent would be a little bit different. You can add your own topics here, and then these companies haven't even visited my website. I'm just finding them because those companies are researching for these terms in the last 60 days. And it compares the last 30 days to the previous last 30 days. And if it's green, that means they're still researching in the last 60 days. And from here, same thing, I can add them into HubSpot and I can get them at the right time. So I'm gonna go back to my presentation just to show you this last part, which is let's connect. I'm gonna stop the video because otherwise it's going to be too long and it's gonna start stopping. So I will record the second part of this now. Thank you so much.